Hi guys, welcome back. I'm now going to teach you the all-time favourite sweet and sour chicken. Okay, so we're going to firstly prep our vegetables. Let's go through our ingredients, what we've got today. So I'm going to teach you how to cut the peppers. So I'm taking the seeds out and slice it up. I've got a very big onion here. They actually win me prizes. And these are Spanish onions. And we're going to take the paper off and cut them into cubes. And then I've got some carrots that's already been ready peeled and just sliced into little horse-shaped ears. And some pineapples as well, that's just from a tin. We've also got our chicken breast fillet. What we're going to do with that is we're going to cube that, okay? And then we're going to season. Make sure the meat is all seasoned before we start the cooking process. I also have some potato starch which I'm going to use as a very light batter. And then when it's all cooked up, the chicken and the vegetables, we're now going to then add our sauce, the sweet and sour sauce in. So let me show you firstly how to cut the peppers. Very simple. All you want to do is just basically, I have a Chinese cleaver, and if you've never held one before, these are fantastic tools that you have in the kitchen. All you need to do is hold the neck, the thumb and the index on top of the neck so you have a good grip. Okay. This hand needs to be like a claw. So what that means is, if you, instead of putting your fingers like that, with the chance of chopping your fingers off, you actually claw your fingers up so they lean on the knuckle when you're cutting. Okay. So we're going to firstly take off the tops of our peppers. Turn it upside down, just cut it in half, and just very quickly just take out the seeds. At this stage, all you want to do, you want to cut them into 1/3 each. So that way, the actual peppers are evenly shaped, okay? So like that. And instead of doing it cubes, what you can do is slightly on an angle. And basically just a little cube like that. And they're going to look so pretty in the dish. So let me just put these peppers in the bowl so we get that ready. And now to cut the onion. Very simple, all you want to do is basically take off the paper. Now my trick with the onion to stop you crying, I actually put the onion in the fridge for about 5–10 minutes, and that basically stops the sulfuric acid reacting when you cut into it. And that way you're not going to have crying eyes when you're making your dish. So let me just take off the paper, and then basically that'll be ready to start cutting into the cubes. So all you want to do now is to cut your onion. You want to cut it into half, okay? Turn it onto the flat side, and you just want to cut the onion into 3 like that, and that way your cubes are going to be nice and even shaped, a bit like that, okay? So let's just put a few onions in the bowl, so that's ready. Okay, and then also we've got our carrots and a few pineapples that we'll add in later. Now onto the chicken. Now the chicken, I've got just a very simple chicken breast fillet that you can buy in your supermarket. And what we're going to do is cut them into nice even cubes. So you just basically portion it out like this. You don't want the chicken too big, otherwise it's going to take too long to cook. So you just want them nice, small little cubes like this. And then I'm going to show you how to marinate as well. Now, in Chinese cooking, it's really important to marinate the meat. If you just put this chicken in right now into the dish, there's not going to be much seasoning. And so basically with a Chinese marinade, you really want to make sure that the whole dish is seasoned. And I'm going to show you how. You've got your chicken. We're going to put it into a bowl. I'm going to teach you a very, very simple marinade. What we do is, in a lot of cookbooks, they actually add in loads of ingredients. I tend to like my chicken, especially my dishes, quite neutral, okay? So the actual dish of the flavour comes out. So I want the sweet and sour chicken dish to really come out. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt, okay? A little bit of salt. A little bit of sugar. Now we add salt and sugar is really to balance out the dish. We add in some potato starch. Okay, so potato starch is a bit like cornstarch if you've never used it before. And this is also great for people that are gluten-free because all the ingredients we're using today is accessible and also it's suitable for that as well. The last thing we're going to do is add some water to dissolve the actual seasoning into the chicken. So you're just going to add a little bit of water there and just going to basically mix that in. That's just going to dissolve into the chicken. What this technique is actually called is velveting. So with this potato starch, what that's going to do is coat the chicken balls. That's going to keep the chicken nice and moist inside while we do the deep frying. Okay. So what we tend to do, we put this in the fridge for about 5–10 minutes, just to basically let the seasoning all soak into the chicken. And then when it's ready from the fridge, we take it out and we start coating the chicken balls in the potato starch batter. So let me just show you what I've done earlier. Okay, so there's one I've done earlier, okay? And basically what we're going to do now is we're going to coat these chicken balls in the potato starch batter for the sweet and sour chicken. So let's get our potato starch and put it onto a plate. And now what we do is we actually add our chicken that's been marinated in the fridge for about 10 minutes and start coating the chicken like that. So basically the chicken has all been battered. What I'm going to do now is heat some oil in a saucepan and basically wait for the oil to be very, very hot before I start deep frying the chicken. Okay, so I've got a pan of hot oil. I've filled it halfway through. All I'm using is vegetable oil. And to check if your oil is ready to do the deep frying. Very simple, just get a wooden stick or a wooden chopstick, put it into the oil, and if you start seeing little bubbles coming up from the oil, that's actually ready to start deep frying. So very carefully, we're going to put our chicken balls into the hot oil. Now the technique is normally to drop and away, okay, in hot oil. Whatever you do, do not just dump it in like that. The oil is going to splash you and it's going to hurt, believe you me. So all you're going to do, get your chicken balls, just drop it into the hot oil. That will start sealing those chicken balls straight away and give it a nice crispy coating. And also maintaining the chicken is going to be very moist. Now what you want to do is not overpopulate the pan with the chicken, otherwise what will happen is the oil will start cooling down straight away and basically that will make the chicken very, very soggy. So you want to do about a portion at a time, so I'm just going to leave that in now, okay? Get some tongs, okay? Just give it a little mix around in the hot oil. Now these generally cook for 5 to 7 minutes, no longer than that. If you cook it any longer, what will happen is they'll go very, very brown. And what you really want essentially is the chicken just to be just about cooked with a nice crispy outing, and then that's ready to do our stir fry, the sweet and sour chicken. So just to give you an idea of when the chicken is ready, you want it looking a bit like this. Okay, if the chicken is that sort of colour and it's pretty much firm, then the chicken is ready to be scooped out. So a little bit of oil. What we're going to do first, that's about a tablespoon of oil I'm using, okay? And what I'm going to do is basically stir fry the vegetables so they're a little bit softened. So let's just put that in. Now the beauty about the sweet Mandarin sweet and sour sauce is that when you put it into the dish, there's no need to thicken. It literally just pour and it's ready to cook. But the trick is not to cook the sauce too long, otherwise it's going to caramelise. You don't want a black sweet and sour chicken, okay? These need to be softened ideally for about 2 to 3 minutes, but you still want them quite crunchy, the vegetables. So what we do now, we're going to put in our sweet and sour sauce. This sort of portion probably makes about 1 to 2 portions, okay? So basically what you want to do is make sure the sauce is in the wok, it's all coating the vegetables. Now when the sauce actually comes to the boil, that's the best time to add in the sweet and sour chicken balls. You don't do it when it's cold, otherwise what will happen is the chicken will go all soggy, okay? Alright, so here we go, we're going to add in our chicken balls now. This is the all-time favourite sweet and sour chicken, and it's one of my favourites. It's great to serve, you know, for dinner parties and also like for romantic meals for 2 as well. So I'm ready to serve that now. So I'm going to get my plate. I'm ready to serve with some steamed boiled rice. There we go, sweet and sour chicken An easy stir-fry dish to make at home using sweet mandarin, sweet and sour sauce. Enjoy.